this. A beautiful home, elegant kitchen. You don't want a roach motel hanging out around there, right? Or let's say a mouse trap or poisons or sprays. We all deal with pests. It doesn't matter how clean your home is, but if you're sick and tired of waiting for them to come into your house and then reacting to that, I've got a proactive solution for you from Bell & Howell. These are the Ultrasonic Pest Repellers, and as you see in the video, all you do is plug them in and let them do their job. No poisons needed, no pest control people needed, no cleaning up dead pests. We're talking things like spiders, cockroaches, mice, rats, all things you want nowhere near your house. These use ultrasonic sound that only those things can hear. And it is such a horrible sound to them that they just avoid your home or that room altogether. You can't hear it, your spouse can't hear it, your cat, your dog can't hear it, your kids can't hear it. In fact, it's safe to have around them because there are no poisons or traps for little paws or little fingers to run into. And this is the largest configuration that we've offered. And it's the best price we've ever offered as well. You're actually getting 10 of these ultrasonic pest repellers. One of them has the extra outlet on the side, so you don't lose an outlet. One of them has the built-in nightlight, which is fantastic. So maybe you want that one in the hallway or in the bathroom. You're getting 4 that are the classics, and then you're getting 4 that work just like the classic, but they're a smaller footprint. So maybe you've got a smaller area, a smaller room you wanna use them in. 10 in total. Best price in the marketplace, $29.99. So it breaks down to about $2.99 per. You have a full 30 days to try them out. Plug them in. Give them about 2 weeks to see the full effects. Many people report in a couple of days they're noticing the effects, but it's incredible to no longer have to deal with those pests. So if you wanna get these, you can give us a call, go to hsn.com or use our free app to get your orders in. Over 1,700 of you already have scooped it up. It's the only shipment of the year. So once this 10-pack is gone, it's gone, but it's only this price for 24 hours. So I'm glad that you're watching now to get yours. Think about every room in your home, your garage, your attic, your basement, maybe it's the RV, the vacation home, anywhere you need to get rid of those pests. So we've got Lou Caputo standing by to tell us all about it. Lou, we started counting in 2010, and since then, we have sold 6 million of these babies, and that's just from when we started counting. So very popular, and they wouldn't be around this long if they didn't do their job.
No, that's true, and I think some of that number is actually people coming back for seconds because they either have more other properties or, you know, they realize, oh gosh, I didn't buy enough for my whole house. And this is a great set because if you look at this, you're actually getting enough to do the, 2 stories of the average home. So that means that you can put them in every room, the attic, the basement, the garage, and guess what? In this case, I even got 1 left over. So, you're getting a lot in this. Now, the way these work is science. They use ultrasonic sound wave. There's no traps, there's no poisons, there's none of that. They put out a sound that you can't hear, all right? Your pets won't hear it, your kids won't hear it, but the rats, the mice, the roaches, the spiders, they hear it. And it repels them from the localized area where these are working. Now, because they're sound waves, they're gonna bounce off of every solid surface in the room. All that means walls, doors, furniture. That's why you don't want to put them behind furniture. But that's also why, Michelle, you need one in every single room in the house. And that's why this set is so great. And the fact that you're getting a little bit of everything, one with the lights on it, one with the extra plugs, and the fact that you're getting 4 of the minis, I love the minis because even though they're small, they work just the same as the large ones, okay? So that you don't need to worry about that. But they blend. Like you put them on countertops in the bathroom, the kitchen, places like that. Right. Nobody will even know that they're there. They won't even know.
It's just such a smart way to, we keep saying this, to be proactive instead of waiting. Because typically, think about every other option you've had to use, or maybe you currently are using, where you're spending a ton of money, you need different types of poisons and sprays and traps and pellets and things for all the different types of pests. But then you also have to be the person to put them out, monitor them, clean things up. Like, I kind of love, Lou, it's like the lazy girl's guide to pest control. Honestly, plug it in and forget about it.
Yeah, I always tell people, look, if you want to play amateur exterminator, there's a lot of ways that you could do that, okay? And I'll give you, for instance, let's say that I wanted to go out there and, I wanted to take care of the roach problem myself, okay? So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to drop a bunch of money on all this stuff here. And I've got poisons and traps and baits and, all kinds of things in here. But the thing about these is there's poisons in there, okay? There's things that I'm gonna have to apply and then they're gonna wear off and I gotta reapply. And then when they run out, I gotta go to the store and I gotta buy more. So there's a lot of money involved with that. If you got rats and mice, guess what? We got even more things that you gotta do. And this is a lot of work with these because there are traps that you've gotta bait. There are carcasses you're gonna have to deal with if you catch anything. And these little green things at the bottom right here, I know they're hard to see, but these things that are on the bottom right here, they look like my dog's favorite chew toys, okay? So I definitely don't want those in my house. Yeah. When you get your Bell & Howell pest repellers and you plug them in, they're gonna take care of the roaches. They're gonna take care of the rats and the mice. Oh, and I forgot one. Guess what? Let me show you the stuff for spiders. Nothing.
Zero.
There's nothing for spiders.
Just
Guess
my
what?
fear.
This. The Bell & Howell Pest Repeller, both venomous and non-venomous spiders, it will repel them as well. And by the way, these are third-party, independent lab tested. We're not just out here just saying whatever comes to our minds about what these work on. Trust me, they wouldn't let me do that, okay? So that's why I tell people, take the leap of faith, try these, plug them in. And Michelle, you're 100% correct. After a few days, you're gonna start to notice a difference. After a few weeks, you're gonna say, where'd the pests go? Because they work that well. You're just gonna be like, what in the world just happened here? I don't need this stuff anymore.
Yeah, and you know, especially when it comes to things like roaches and spiders, even when they're not alive, you still don't want to deal with. There's nothing worse than like, you've got guests over and you look around and you're like, oh my gosh, there's a dead cockroach over there. How am I gonna get, I mean, that's embarrassing, right? And you can have the cleanest house in the world. There's nothing you can do about these pests coming into your home and taking over. It's very convenient for them. It's comfortable temperature, lots of food available. So it's nothing on you, but if you're thinking about it from an aesthetic point of view and from what others may think, there's that aspect. Nobody wants to see a roach motel or, you know, a trap sitting out. And when these are plugged in, they blend right in. I might think, oh, maybe that's their doorbell monitor, or maybe that's like an air freshener, or you know, something like that, right? It doesn't look like a pest repeller, and because you're not seeing any pests around, you don't think, oh, there's a pest problem, and you don't have to clean anything up. That's the other thing I love. Just keep them from coming in altogether. And this is the largest set that we have for you at the best value we have ever done, and that actually puts us at the best value in the marketplace as well, because these two larger ones, this one up top actually has an outlet on the side, so you don't lose an outlet. This one has a built-in nightlight, which is so convenient. These are the classic, the originals, and then these are what we call the minis down here that you can put into smaller size rooms and they don't take up as much space, or just a little bit different. However you want to use them, you get them all. And Lou, this could be a whole home solution. Even if you have cats and dogs, they don't notice it either. No one hears it.
No, we have them all over our house. My dogs could care less. They have no idea what they're there. I think what they do like, though, is that we don't have that man walking around the outside of the house spraying poison every month. You know what I mean? And I like it because I'm not paying that man every month to come by and do that. And that's the nice thing about these, is that you can save money by not having to do your own pest control, or by having to have somebody else come out and do the pest control for you. I think that that's a real plus with getting these. And, you know, it's nice because even if you have a property where you're not there all the time, maybe you have rentals, maybe you have a vacation place that you go to, or a boat or an RV or anything like that. Long as there's power, you can plug these in there, and they're gonna work whether you're home or not. They don't really care. It doesn't matter to the pest repeller. So they're gonna work for you the entire time. And like you said, the big difference is gonna be you're not gonna step on anything weird in the middle of the night. You're gonna not hearing any of those sounds up in your attic or anything in the middle of the night. You know, none of that's gonna happen. And I don't care what time of the year it is, you're gonna have a pest problem. And I say that because in the wintertime, the mammals want to come inside. So your rats and your mice want to come inside because you got the heat, and you got the food, and you got the water. But then in the summertime, it's the insects, and they're all over the place, you know. And Michelle, we've had a lot of rain here in Florida. I know a lot of parts of the country haven't.
Oh my
gosh. But when there's a lot of rain, what comes up through those pipes? The cucarachas. They want to come up through there. Yeah, and they want to get in your house. Okay, I didn't tell you this story last show, but I'm going to tell it to you now.
I'm prepared.
Okay. German cockroaches, the females, when they're bearing eggs, okay, if you kill it using a poison or a trap or whatever you have, right, they will jettison the egg sacs, and those eggs will still hatch. So by killing the parent, you are not killing the several hundred offspring that they have. And that's why you don't want to kill them. You want to repel them and make it. Was that a good? That was a good story, right? You want them to go. It's true, though. That's a true story.
That is wild to me. And, you know, it is 1:15 in the morning on the East Coast at the moment. It's nighttime. And if you're currently at home, maybe you're in bed, maybe you're in the living room, it's dark. If you've ever had that thought of, you know, if you get up in the middle of the night or in the evening, am I gonna turn the lights on and see a cockroach scurry away, or see the spiders, or see the mice, or the rats? They always come out at night. Again, just one more reason to want to repel those things so they avoid your room and your house altogether. That's the whole point of this, is to be proactive. It costs way less money. There's no ongoing cost. There's nothing to replace. There's no membership. There's nobody to pay to come out and spray things. There's no poisons to worry about, right? No traps, no cleanup. That's one of my big things. Not only do I not want them in my house, I don't want to have to clean them up once the traps have done their job. It's honestly more humane if you think about it too, if you are concerned about traps and things, especially with the mice and the rats. It's just a much easier, much safer, much smarter choice in my opinion. That's why 6 million and counting have been sold. And that's just since 2010. And Lou, Bell and Howell's been around quite a long time. They specialize in this kind of thing. So it's a smart purchase you can feel good about. Full 30-day, unconditional money-back guarantee. You just need to give it a couple days to start to notice. Give it a full 2 to 3 weeks to see the full capacity of what these can do for you. You've got plenty of time to do that for sure.
No, you do, and it's interesting you said that about Bell and Howell, because those guys, you know, they've been around for 115 years, but people ask me, well, how do they get into pest control? Here's the thing. Remember, they used to make film cameras, they used to make projectors, and a big part of that was sound, audio. So they've won advancements, you know, they've won awards for advancements in audio, so they know a lot about sound, and essentially that's what these are like tiny little speakers. They just put out sound waves that you and I can't hear. You know, it's that whole thing about what does it sound like to the pest? It could be fingernails on a chalkboard, I don't know, but it's irritating enough that they want to leave. It messes around with their nervous system and just makes them want to go. Now, for those of you at home that are watching, you're saying like, okay, let me get this straight. The only way I know it's working, there's a little red LED that flashes, and that's it. Well, that and the fact that you're not going to see the pest, but I'm going to show you something real quick. This is an ultrasonic leak detector, okay? This is the device that they normally use to look for leaks in air conditioning systems, big ones, big industrial systems, or gas lines. Because when there are pinhole leaks in them, the gas is under so much pressure that it comes out and it makes an ultrasonic sound wave. So there's a little microphone in the front of this. The only thing this hears is ultrasonic sounds. I'm going to put it down here next to this pest repeller, which is plugged in, and you're going to notice that whenever the little red LED flashes, showing that it's emitting an ultrasonic pulse, you're going to see another red LED inside of this thing bouncing. See that right there? How that's bouncing up and down?
Yeah.
That little ball is showing that there's an ultrasonic sound wave coming out of this. Every time it emits that, it's doing it. And that's what's so interesting about that, is when you see that little red ball right there, that's how you can tell that there's actually an ultrasonic sound wave coming out of here. So that's proof positive that even though you can't hear it, it's working. It's doing its job. Now, the rats, the mice, the roaches, the spiders, they hear it, okay? They're gonna leave, so you don't have to worry about these. And Michelle, like you said a moment ago, you don't have to do anything. Plug them in, forget that they're there.
It's like the laziest form of pest control, and I am proud to say it, because I don't have to think about it, I don't have to remember, I don't have to get refills, and then I don't have to be so concerned about my pets and my children and my guests. You know, people, not only is it unsightly, but it's poisons or traps that can be very dangerous, right? So it's a very simplified way of pest control without having to use any of those methods we've talked about. And when you look at how many you're getting 10, and you look at this price, I mean, these were, our HSN price is about $50 for this pack. If you were to purchase these separately, you're looking at a $72 value. So we're at $29.99. That's about $2.99 per. So fantastic value, a full 30 days to try them out. And as we've been saying, you only need about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks to see the full effect. A lot of people notice the difference pretty quickly, but that, I'm just saying because that's plenty of time to give it a shot. And with this, it's a whole home set, Lou. So, I mean, you could start it in the garage or the basement, your home, your attic. Put them anywhere you have power, right? And then what about placement? Where's a good spot to put these?
Open areas of the rooms. You don't want to put them in corners where they're going to be shooting back into a wall that's right in front of them. You want to put them in an open area so that sound wave can travel as far as possible and bounce, reflect off of every, echo essentially off of the solid surfaces in the room, like the door and everything. You know, I mean, like I said last show, the only thing you don't want to do is put it in a room. If you keep gerbils or hamsters, rats or mice as pets, don't put it in the room where they are. The rest of the house is fine, just not the room where those guys are. Right. But your other pets, they're never going to know. The birds, birds, the dogs, the cats, they're gonna have no idea. Now, one of the things we talked about last show, Michelle, was this as well, and that's the fact that, you know, when you see stuff like this, okay, I want you to think of the Bell & Howell pest repellers like a smoke detector, and think about your sprays and traps as the fire extinguisher, okay? This is before you got a problem. This is after you have a problem,
So
okay? So by the time that you're reaching for the can or the traps or anything else, you've got an infestation probably. If you see one cockroach, there's probably hundreds, you know? I mean, if you see one rat or mouse, there's probably dozens of them, and they multiply very quickly.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of thing you don't want to let it get going. You want to get ahead of it, Michelle, and you want to get this set now and get it working.
I remember growing up, our house, we had, we're in Florida, so we had grapefruit trees and orange trees. Well, we had fruit rats. And I still remember vividly being in bed and just hearing in the walls, in the roof. And don't judge me, don't judge my parents. We have a clean home. But I said this earlier, it's nothing on you. Pests, in fact, you probably have a very inviting home because it's nice and clean and full of food. They're gonna come in. Roaches, I mean, that's just a part of life. There are way more of those bugs than there are people. They're not going anywhere anytime soon, but I would much rather them be outside and away from my house. So if there is a way to repel them and make you have the most unappealing house on the block, sorry for my neighbors, happy for myself. That's why I'm picking these up. And that's why millions of you have picked these up since 2010. This just happens to be the largest configuration we have done. We have done like a 4-pack, maybe a 3-pack. I know we've done a 6-pack. This is 10. 10, and this price is better than even those smaller configurations that we've had. But it's just for 24 hours. This is our one shipment of the year. So when it goes, if it goes, you know, in the next 24 hours, incredible, you got a great value. If it doesn't, the price is gonna go back up. Our regular price on this is right around $50. But once this one shipment of the year is gone, it's gone. So you might see the smaller packs, but you're not gonna see the 10-pack. So get it while you can and get it while you've got this variety too. I do love that, Lou. We've got the one with the outlet, so you don't lose an outlet on the side, right? The one with the nightlight, you're getting the 4 Classic, and then you're getting the 4 Mini. And the Mini work just like the Classic, right? It's just smaller footprint. You maybe want to put those in a smaller room.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, and they're great for countertops just because they're so unobtrusive that you're not going to notice that they're there. But you know, the one thing people have to realize, I don't care if you live in a brand new home. You know, you were talking about how it's not because you're, you know, dirty, you know, keep a unclean house. It's absolutely not that. But if you live in a brand new home that maybe you've just moved into it, guess what? When they were building your house, they were tearing up the habitat for all the pests. So they want to go someplace. They're looking at your house thinking like, that looks pretty good. Same thing, you know, I don't care if you're, you know, the expression city mouse or a country mouse. Doesn't matter where you live, okay? If you live in the country, you already know you're going to have pests, okay? But if you live in the city, a lot of people think they're immune because they live in a high-rise building. And you got to remember that all the pipes and all the wires and everything in that building is like a super highway for the pests. And you're surrounded by people. You got people above you, below you, on either side. They might be dirty. You don't know how they're keeping their house. So that's why I tell people, get these in there and create that force field, that little bubble that's going to be secure for you. The pests are going to go somewhere else. Your neighbors aren't going to know who sent them there. Probably you, but you know what? You're not going to have them in your house.
So true, such a good point. And the spider thing, you cracked me up when you're showing like all the poisons and the options for the mice and the rats and the roaches. What do you do for spiders? Nothing. I mean, honestly, and it's terrible how many people, including my own son, have been bit by spiders while you sleep. I mean, you don't even know. So, I mean, look at me. I'm getting like itchy now just talking about all of these pests. But this is great for spiders as well, to repel those. And if you've got it on your mind too that you want to be a little more humane, I don't necessarily want to kill a mouse or a rat or a spider or maybe a roach. I'm just, whatever. I don't necessarily want to kill them. I just don't want them in my home. So this is a much more humane way to go about it as well. And you can't beat the price, honestly. If you're even just curious, I highly recommend get them home, try them out. Why not? What do you have to lose? They're the best price they've ever been. They're the best in the market. They're the biggest configuration, and you still have a full month to give it a go. So if you want to scoop these up, you can do it at hsn.com. You can use our free app, or you can call that 800 number down in the corner of your screen and get them home. And again, Bell & Howell, they've been around over 100 years bringing innovative products for your home. This one might top the list, though, Lou. I mean, any product that helps me not have to deal with all those creepy crawlies, I'm a happy person.
No, and I agree with you 100%, you know, and it's like we were saying earlier, Be proactive, don't be reactive. Don't be running around your house trying to spray in all these places when you can just plug in your Bell & Howell pest repellers and let these do the work for you. Nothing you got to do. Just sit back and relax and know that the pests are gone. They're not going to be there.
And to not have that fear in my stomach when I'm in the pantry and I'm about to move a big bag of rice. Like, what's going to be underneath it, right?
Right, right.
Oh, Lou, thank you very much. I know you're back live with Guy in the morning.
Back at 9.
So looking forward to that. Thank you. Get some rest, my friend. We'll see you soon. It's going to be a busy day.
All right.
All right, keep the orders coming, everybody. Remember, you can head to hsn.com. You can give us a call, or you can use our free app to get your orders in. The rest of this hour, some of the most ridiculous clearance prices I have seen on very highly rated products.